wall. Vuvuzela's in the first position. That means he's first through the door. He's what's known as a pointman. The pointman's job is to clear the first barricade. Now, there's a hard and fast rule being a pointman. And hard and fast rule in CQC in general is don't stop in a fatal funnel. This box right here is a fatal funnel. It's basically a point where if you stop, you're dead. And you're holding up the entire rest of the unit behind you. We're going to move immediately, as we clear this room, point man will immediately move into the corner and hold about a foot, 2 or 3 feet into this doorway. Allow the other units, the guys to come in. The second man, in this case it would be you, Vuvuzela, you'd move to immediately cover the side I'm next to. Do that for me?
And can I add on to this, Red?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Moving on, G-Dog. You move immediately behind me, G. Okay, move up to slight position real quick. Move up to my position. Thank you. Now, in a typical situation, you'd have 2-man parallel. In this case, it doesn't work. The hallway's too wide. But we're providing what's known as plate carriage. I'm wearing a plate rig on my chest at the moment. That is a bulletproof vest. If you take a hit in that, you may drop, but the guy behind you is fine. Got that?
That's we're like a wall for the bullets to hit?
Exactly. Exact same concept. This is plate cover.
Comforting.
But keep in mind the fact your plate will most likely stop the round. Unless it's an extremely high-powered round like a 7.62 or a 50 cal, which in close quarters is going to be a hard thing to hit you with, even at close range, even at point blank. And you'll most likely have the opportunity to shoot him first anyway, especially on a big clunky weapon like a 550 cal. That's the basics of how you enter a corridor. The next step is actually breaching a room proper. Stack up the same way you did before. We'll breach this room right here. Okay? Correction. Oh, sorry, not correction. Question. What direction does the pointman go in this case?
Left.
Okay.
I go right. Correct?
Technically, you're both right. Whatever direction the pointman goes is right. It's the immediate understanding that the guy in front goes whatever direction he chooses. He could see a threat, he could see a corner, etc. It's the responsibility of the guy behind him to go the opposite direction. So if I were to breach forward, going immediately into the room, go to the left here, the next man would immediately have to pull the other direction's corner. You got that? Okay. And then it goes in the case in point all the way through. Blade, come down here real quick. Blade, come down here real quick.
Look on the
We have a
wall
third
inside the
person
room.
going in straight and center, correct?
Never mind.
Isn't
Exactly. That's
right,
exactly
that's
how
right.
it works.
that...
So basically, you have to at the end of the thing will be you should have 2 guys on each corner.
Medic?
What the fuck happened?
I'll put him down. It's like a horse. So
No, that's not how that works. Hey, to give a correction to what I said earlier, no, you don't want a guy in the center of the room. He's liable to get shot.
But that's how
Stack
they
up real
usually
quick.
do.
Not.
Y'all like...
It depends on the situation. It depends on this type of the room. A lot of factors go into CQC. CQC is messy. Stack up. Okay. Remember, you always go the exact opposite of the guy in front of you. Copy? In this case.
Yep.
Okay. And while we got 4 guys here, we're going to go over the formations you use to stack up. You have 1 guy in the rear. His job is to cover the rear. If you don't have a team covering the door. Sometimes you'll have a team covering the door. G-Dog's responsibility as a third man would be to cover straight to the side of the wall we're not covering. So you'd face basically to the there you go. Vuvuzela will be covering up and above. Exactly. And then Blade will cover the door. Got that?
Let me know when we're ready.
I'll let you know when you're ready. Alright. Now, you gotta let the guys know ahead of you you're ready. So we have the option to tap a shoulder, which is done with the Ace Interactions key. Pass it down. Now remember, you always breach the corner opposite of the guy.
What do I do? If he's going to the opposite corner, I just go to the center, or do I
You go to the opposite direction. So if he went that direction... Exactly. This is exactly. Now you have 4 guns pointing into the room. No fire. Hold fire. Now, you see how you have two guys on each side of the room covering the entire corners of the room? Alright. Into the center real quick. Move. Now.
Yeah, brother.
Now you have your what's called sectors. I call them sectors, but there's tons of control, a whole bunch of different rooms terms you can use. You basically, in the end of the thing, you want to have every corner of the room you can possibly think of covered, and all guns pointing inward. This allows you to have maximum control over the room.
Alright, come again. Did you say inward?
All guns need to be pointed inward. Theoretically, if you've engaged targets, most likely they'll be in the corner against walls. But it is a
Oh, that
possibility
does
that
make
you will
sense.
have them in the room. Your sectors of fire are immediately dictated by the areas you cover. So the first guy, for example, will cover the corner. The next guy covers the opposite corner. The next guy coming in will cover a section of the room that is covering that corner, in this case. You get that? And then the last guy will do the exact opposite for that corner.
So the first two in get the two closest corners, and the second two go for the furthest corners?
Yes, but they still have to stay in line with the guy behind them.
Yes.
You got that. This is how Conwell's taught me to breach. I have 5 different ways I've been taught how to breach a room. So each individual service has their room. A lot of factors can do that. Alright, we're going to start this up again. Reduce again. Set your formations, go. I'll take lead on this case.
Red, give me a second. I have to go do something. I'll sit in the corner.
Okay, don't shoot him. But just pretend you have a 4th guy coming behind you, okay, Viv?
Alright.
Set. Preaching. Yep. You move, but you cover that corner. Got it? You want to have your gun facing
Say
inward.
what corner you're gonna go in? Isn't that kind of confusing?
I'm back. Sorry.
What are you saying?
Isn't it kind of confusing that you don't say what corner you're going in?
You can. A lot of guys do.
That makes more sense.
It's
Kinda
not a
bad
hard
if I
and fast requirement.
Ah,
It's not a hard
oh,
requirement.
that doesn't make any sense.
It's not a hard requirement. It's standard that we usually do it, but it's actually not in the manual.
And just taking effect, this is what like real military, special ops, regular
SWAT
military
does.
uses, whatever. They do this the same exact way, but in more precise matter. It's filed down to the cleanest detail.
And I'll send you a video on Special Forces clearing your room. It's incredible fast, how fast they can do it. Even just walking. A lot of factors what we're teaching here are just the bare bones. Keep that in mind, G. This is just
Oh, yeah,
bare bones of
definitely.
this. You have a whole lot more factors that you can work with here.
Yeah, well, there's no obstacles in this.
No, there's not. And that's a
There's
good point.
nothing in-
And that's a good point, exactly. You will have to move against obstacles. That is known as dead space. The reason it's not in here is because it's impossible for me to freaking simulate by placing objects in random positions. You will move, so long as you're moving against the wall, you're fine. Don't move into the center of the room until you're set. All 4 men are set. After that, you can move into clear dead space. And that's a whole nother process.
Yeah, it's also, I mean,
That's a whole nother
light out.
process.
There's no doors on the doorways.
Yeah, I can't, there's no doors I can just flate up place, unfortunately.
Just to put it, like, you get this, like, you have this, but you still be confused until after, like, a op or two, you will understand it and be able to get it. Like, you can sit here and tell someone how to do it, and just, you'll understand it more just having
It's easier.
experience in it.
And this goes in case in point to a lot of people, especially I know you're listening in this case for me. I don't know where doors are, Spider. But anyway, this is basically covering a concept. Everything we're teaching in this thing is going to be hammered down by actual experience. That's the point of this. This just gives you an understanding of how to do it. Experience always comes from actual fighting in this game, just by nature of the game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. And I'm not the best teacher. This is Conwell's expertise. I'm trying to do the best I can. Conwell can follow up on any more detail you might have questions for. And the internet is your friend in this case in point. There's plenty of videos on how to do it. I've used it for airsoft. I've used it in a lot, like you're saying, SWAT, military guys use it all the time as well. But that's just how you clear a basic room with that kind of corner. The concept will apply to multiple different rooms. We have one more room I want to test this out on. This is an open room, like this one right here. Come over here real quick. The concept of this room is the exact same. But more likely than not, what's going to happen is you'll stack up on both sides of the wall. Exactly. The concept still flows the exact same way. Blade, get behind me. The concept of this room flows the exact same way. First man to breach goes the direction he goes. Second man covers the opposite. And so on.
Yeah, but with military, and it was a room like this, just and there's breaches on both sides. Don't they do it so you have to cross less ground of being like not having your weapon out? So like obviously having your weapon out, but like going like this, you're more exposed. Don't they just go right around the corner so they're already covering it, and then the opposite team would cover that corner?
Nope.
So then nobody's
This is how
Delta.
not Delta, but Green Berets have taught Conwell, and I don't understand it yet either. But this is just something he's showed me and he wants me to teach.
And then
Well, I
just
will
put
not
on
argue
it.
with the Green Berets. They're very successful.
Yeah, just put on it. Conwell is active military right now, and that's the thing. He will be the best to tell you how to do it, even over a video. He would be able to probably explain it better than a video can, because he lives this life. This is the life he lives.
He's no longer
He's a Green
infantry.
Beret?
No, he's air assault. He was an air assault guy. He's no longer a air assault. He's an MP now. He's a reservist. He's not active. He's a
Was
reservist.
he a Green Beret?
No, he was air assault corps.
I was about to say,
Like-
I've never met a Green Beret.
No, he's air
What's the
assault.
thing? People like military people. Cause I'm going into the military when I get the chance to. But that's the thing. Some squadrons get taught by better squadrons, like the Green Beret. Cromwell got taught by the Green Beret. They brought them in to teach his squadron how to do something better.
Don't assume that I don't know the details of that. This is something he mentioned in passing. It may have been something he just happened to get there.
Yeah.
But Army teaches a different doctrine than Special Forces.
That's the thing. Like each branch does it differently. Like my cousin who's going in the Navy SEALs, they might teach it so much differently from
They're
the
a smaller
Army.
team, usually. But anyway, you guys get a basic concept how to do this. That's what I'm trying to achieve here. Ask Conwell, platoon sergeant, if you want any more details. Spider from OSOC, another great guy to learn from, especially when it comes to sniping. But that's a different case in point right now. He can teach you.
Yeah, I'd love to know how to change
Was Spider in military?
with Ace. I cannot figure out what the button is to change from. I can get the ranging, just not the windage in it.
You don't set
Oh,
windage.
no.
You don't set windage on Ace, not basic sights. You can do that on sniper scopes.
Well, yeah, on snipers, not.
We'll go over that later. Green Berets teach everyone what they do. It's actually a case in point. They do teach a lot of indigenous groups too. But anyway, you guys got an understanding of this. There's one other concept I'm going to teach you, and that's called a rolling T. Come over out real quick. Basically, you're going to form a T on me. So 2 guys in front, and then the last guy in our case, last 2 guys in our case, will follow in behind as a T. This allows you to a lot of room cover as you move. Keep a T. Like, actually make a physical T. Blade, stand there real quick. I'll stand here. You got G-Dog, get in between the 2 of us, behind us. Okay.
Behind us, G-Dog, like in between me and Red.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. That's
I
exactly.
was just with T. Are we missing a person?
Yeah, he's behind you.
No.
Oh. Well, why is the guy... Oh, in case one of us gets down, then he...
Exactly. You'd actually be. I'd be a little closer than like that.
So there'd be another person on the left?
No. You usually have a 4-man team breaching. That's the smallest team.
Oh,
you got.
okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
you now have the coverage to cover the entire area. There's a particular point in this. Past this door, move to the next hallway. And we'll use this one as an example. So move in here. Set your T up proper. Set the T up. Okay, turn around, you two. We're facing the other door. We're facing that as our coming point. If you understand. Okay. 1 here. Okay, move it there. Okay, next guy forms a next to him. Guy behind him forms a T. Now you have an advantage. When you reach a corner, move Azalea can cover that corner. He's pointing towards. Dog, you can now move the other wall, cover the other corner.
That doesn't make sense.
Pull back to the. You got to pull back to the other wall. These walls are wide. We have these.
This really seems like a good place to shoot your phone.
No.
Wouldn't it make more sense?
You're supposed to be against this wall right here, like this.
This one?
Yeah, and these rooms are wide, and they're done that way so instructors can move around.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Turn around.
I was about to
But
say.
you turn around.
Okay, wait, what? So we are getting across
Yeah,
there?
look.
This is weird.
What can
So
you see
I
in
won't
this
argue
room?
with it, but
What can you see in this? What can you see?
Here, stay back on those walls. Stay back on the wall. Yep.
What can
I
you
mean
see?
a fair amount. But
This entire-
I'm missing this right here. This like this,
That's fine.
which
You're gonna see them coming up before they cross that barrier. That point.
oh, that's true.
Mainly what you're doing. So like he can shoot what's coming behind you, and you can shoot what's coming up behind him. It's
Exactly.
mainly the point of view to be able to clear the area before friendlies get hit, or to protect your partner or your teammates, wherever.
Exactly. That's exactly what he's doing.
And then I don't know if this would be possible. If I can teach them something else that Carmel taught me.
Sure. If Colin
So
wants to.
mainly, where's one? Okay, right here. So mainly, you come up to a dead space. What do you do up to a dead space?
Check the corners.
I think it's called a V scan or something like that, or
It's pie in the
U-scan.
corner. It's called pie in the corner.
Pie, yeah, pie in the corner.
So basically,
That's what-
you move slowly. Move a second, John. So basically, your concept is you put your gun forward and you basically do a 45-degree quarter of a circle of a corner, and that allows you to check your corner. I'll put a video
Well,
up on that. I'll put a video up
yeah.
on that. That's not something I'm too familiar with.
There is so much more there to learn. It's just that me and Red just scratched like the surface of what you can do and what you can learn.